If I have to say this is to Harry, then Meghan Markle hates her husband.
Meghan Markle preaches love.
A lot of people criticized her because she went near the tunnel where Diana was tragically killed.
She films at the tunnel of Diana's tragic car accident.
She's been mocked at Paris Fashion Week.
She smiles with her feet up. Harry lost his mother here. And Meghan turned it into content.
And she's driving past the tunnel where Diana died.
What Meghan shared wasn't just any car video. It was filmed as her car passed the very tunnel where Princess Diana's life ended in 1997. And according to critics online, she didn't just capture the moment, she added a gesture that felt mocking.
And not only that, what you're gonna see is you're gonna see her like with the camera, and then she's going to pan, right? She's gonna pan to her feet in the car, and then she puts her feet up.
The footage shows Meghan holding the camera steady, panning to the window as the tunnel entrance slides into view. For a beat, nothing seems unusual. But then she pans back inside, and as the car drives past, her feet appear on screen, propped up in what fans described as a gloating pose.
Like, yeah, take that.
One viral comment put it bluntly, "That's not relaxation, that's smugness." Right there, she's smiling. It's that body language, relaxed, almost gleeful, that has sparked speculation. Who is this video for? If, as some claim, it was directed at Harry, then the symbolism cuts like a blade. Because how could someone who professes love for her husband stage a moment at the very site of his deepest wound? And that's where the scandal deepens.
The way that she puts her feet up, I can only explain as glee or like, yeah, take that.
Fans weren't just debating Meghan's intentions, they were drawing lines about the marriage itself. Was this mockery, a hidden jab at Harry, or simply a thoughtless clip that spiraled into symbolism? Online, the debate exploded. Memes surfaced of Meghan reclining, while captions read, "Marriage is a farce." Twitter threads compiled past moments where Meghan was accused of disregarding Harry's emotions. One popular TikTok stitched the car video with old clips of Harry shielding Meghan from paparazzi, captioned, "He protects, she provokes." The divide was sharp. Defenders argued the feet-up gesture was innocent, maybe comfort, maybe coincidence. But detractors insisted context matters. No royal observer could mistake that tunnel, they said, and no wife could film there without knowing the weight it carried. Reports suggested commentators within royal circles privately saw it as unforgivable. Even more striking? The silence from Harry himself. While fan accounts tagged him relentlessly, no acknowledgement came. Some interpreted his quiet as avoidance, others as complicity. But in a marriage constantly under scrutiny, silence is rarely neutral. And that silence has left a question hanging. Was this a careless video, or a coded message from Meghan herself? Because in the court of public opinion, this wasn't just a car ride, it was a signal. And whether intentional or not, Meghan had set a fire the Sussexes might not be able to put out. The internet rarely agrees on anything. But this time, one video set timelines ablaze. Meghan's car clip wasn't just another post, it was instantly dissected, slowed down, freeze-framed, and stitched into endless reaction threads. And in nearly every version, the same detail resurfaced, the way her feet lifted as the tunnel passed.
She went round Paris in this car. She had her heels kicked up, and you can see that. A lot of people criticized her because she went near the tunnel where Diana was tragically killed. I'm not sure that was deliberate, but it's a lot of people criticized that.
Fans online claimed the gesture carried layers of meaning. One viral tweet read, "She didn't just recline, she gloated." Who does that at Diana's tunnel? Another added a comparison showing Meghan's clip beside a solemn photo of Harry at the same site years earlier. The contrast was brutal, and hashtags like "she knows what she did" and "Harry deserves better" shot up within hours. TikTok edits layered dramatic music over the footage, while YouTube commentators replayed the clip frame by frame, calling it a betrayal hiding in plain sight. But the loudest reaction came not from critics, but from those who had once defended Meghan. Commentators pointed out that some of her most loyal fan pages fell silent. Instagram accounts that usually flooded her posts with positivity either ignored the video or quietly locked their comments. Reports suggested even a few Sussex supporters admitted privately that the optics were indefensible. That shift in tone, from silence to discomfort, marked a turning point. And yet, through it all, Harry remained silent. For days, not a word, not even a hint of acknowledgement. Commentators speculated he was torn. Speak out and risk widening the scandal, or stay quiet and let Meghan shoulder the backlash. But silence is rarely neutral in the world of royals. Fans read it as proof of deeper fractures, and threads exploded with speculation. Was Harry trapped? Was he complicit? Or had he simply given up? What intensified the backlash further was the timing. The clip surfaced just as the couple was preparing for a major charity appearance, one themed around compassion and healing. Critics online called the juxtaposition tone-deaf and disrespectful. One entertainment journalist noted that what should have been a positive press cycle for their foundation became overshadowed by memes of Meghan lounging in the car, and insiders whispered that the couple's PR team scrambled to reframe the narrative, but the internet wasn't buying it. The scandal had jumped from personal to public, and as the clip spread globally, new layers of debate formed. Was this just poor judgment, or did it reveal something deeper about Meghan's marriage?
And if this is targeted to her husband, how can you say that you love this person? You're taking a video and doing this right in front of the place where his mother died.
Commentators on British morning shows speculated that a private message to Harry might have been wrapped inside the clip, while American tabloids headlined it as proof of irreparable cracks in the Sussex brand. Fans didn't need tabloids to believe it. They had the video on repeat. And with every replay, the same uncomfortable question grew louder. If Meghan could smile at the very sight tied to Diana's tragedy, what did that mean for her bond with Harry? As the video spread, commentators began connecting dots. This wasn't the first time Meghan had faced criticism for her public choices, clashing with private symbolism. Reports suggested royal insiders remembered the controversy surrounding her Oprah interview, where Meghan spoke of isolation and pain, only for critics to later accuse her of turning personal trauma into media spectacle. The tunnel clip, they argued, fit a troubling pattern, choosing moments of deep significance to Harry and presenting them in ways that sparked more controversy than compassion. Royal experts on British panel shows speculated that Meghan's pan-to-feet gesture might have been intentional, calling it a performance layered with meaning. One commentator said, "She knows exactly what that tunnel represents. The camera didn't linger there by accident." Others disagreed, suggesting it could have been careless filming. But what united both camps was the sense that Meghan had once again placed herself at the center of a storm tied to Diana's legacy, a legacy Harry has always treated as sacred. This angle gained more traction when fans online began stitching her car video with footage from Diana's memorial services. One TikTok edit compared Meghan's relaxed body language with Harry's solemn posture at the 20th anniversary event. The side-by-side edits drew millions of views, with captions like, "One honors, one mocks." Whether fair or not, those juxtapositions shaped public opinion faster than any official statement could. Reports also claimed media strategists saw the timing as especially damaging. The couple's upcoming projects, including a rumored Netflix special, risked being overshadowed by what was now branded the tunnel clip scandal. Commentators speculated that streaming executives might worry about renewed focus on Diana's story, shifting attention away from the Sussexes' narrative. Some even suggested advertisers could grow cautious if the controversy snowballed. The revelations didn't stop there. A columnist in The Times noted that this wasn't just about optics, it was about intent. They argued that Meghan's habit of sharing cryptic imagery, whether in interviews, podcasts, or social posts, often left room for interpretation.
As I said, the driving by the tunnel is one thing, but the part that gets me is the feet, putting the feet up, which means that behind that screen, she was like smiling.
And in a digital age where symbolism spreads faster than statements, interpretation often matters more than fact. That left the Sussexes vulnerable. The more Meghan shared, the more people believed they were seeing hidden messages. Perhaps the most striking revelation came from commentators who linked the tunnel video to Meghan's broader public image. For years, she has styled herself as a figure of empathy, someone who understands suffering. Yet this clip, critics said, clashed violently with that image. It wasn't empathetic, it was provocative. And that contrast, more than the video itself, fueled the fire. Because if Meghan's brand is compassion, how does one explain a clip that felt, to many, like mockery? And as one royal biographer pointed out, scandals tied to Diana always cut deeper. Diana is untouchable, they wrote. Any hint of insensitivity at her sites isn't just misstep, it's self-destruction. By the time mainstream outlets picked up the story, the scandal was no longer just about Meghan's car video. It had become a full-blown storm, forcing institutions, broadcasters, and even royal watchers to weigh in. Morning talk shows in London ran split-screen debates, with one guest defending Meghan's right to film freely, while another declared it a deliberate provocation at a sacred site. Across the Atlantic, entertainment channels replayed the clip in slow motion, sometimes looping her feet rising as if it were the key piece of evidence in a courtroom drama. Behind the scenes, reports suggested publicists tied to the Sussexes scrambled to contain the fallout. Commentators speculated that crisis managers urged Meghan to frame the video as lighthearted or misinterpreted, but the internet wasn't listening. Instead, the clip became meme currency. A viral TikTok trend had users lifting their feet dramatically whenever passing landmarks, captioning it "pulling a Meghan." That shift, from criticism to comedy, made the scandal even harder to bury. Once the internet laughs at you, image repair becomes almost impossible. Royal institutions, meanwhile, couldn't ignore the echoes of Diana. Sources close to palace aides hinted that the video landed like a thunderclap among courtiers still protective of Diana's legacy. While the monarchy has publicly distanced itself from Meghan and Harry, commentators noted the irony. Meghan's clip still risked dragging the royal brand into controversy. One historian told Sky News that every scandal touching Diana reopens a wound the monarchy would rather keep closed. The cultural dimension made matters worse. Diana's story isn't just British history, it's global memory. Documentaries, anniversaries, and streaming specials have cemented her image as a figure of compassion and tragedy. By filming casually at the tunnel, Meghan had inserted herself directly into that legacy, whether she intended to or not. Commentators speculated that this wasn't just bad optics, it was cultural trespass. Fans in France, where the tunnel is located, voiced outrage too, calling it disrespectful to our history. And then came the financial ripple effects. Reports suggested that Hollywood insiders were unsettled by how quickly the scandal overtook the Sussexes' charitable work. One PR analyst told Variety, "If Meghan can't control the narrative around something as small as a car video, how will she anchor multi-million-dollar projects?" Netflix, Spotify, and even book publishers were suddenly part of the conversation, with speculation that investors might hesitate if Meghan's public perception continued to dip. At the height of the drama, one question echoed louder than any other. Was this just Meghan miscalculating again, or was it a glimpse of deeper fractures in the Sussex marriage? Because every frame of that clip, from the tunnel pan to the feet-up gesture, felt to critics like a symbol, not just of insensitivity, but of a relationship straining under the weight of history. And if Meghan's car video could cause this level of chaos, observers wondered, what would happen when the next scandal inevitably arrives? As the noise reached a peak, what followed was perhaps even more damaging: silence. No apology, no clarification, no carefully worded statement from Meghan or Harry. Commentators speculated that the Sussex camp deliberately chose not to respond, hoping the storm would pass. But in a media cycle dominated by symbolism and speculation, silence often speaks louder than words, and for many fans, that silence confirmed their worst suspicions. Reports suggested that major outlets began shifting their framing of Meghan. Once a figure presented as misunderstood, she was increasingly cast as provocative. Even sympathetic voices admitted the optics were disastrous. One columnist in The Guardian wrote that Meghan may have underestimated how quickly a single image can harden into narrative, and that narrative, the idea of Meghan mocking Harry's deepest pain, began to stick. Financially, the scandal's ripple effects couldn't be ignored. Commentators speculated that brand partnerships might become harder to secure, as corporations tend to avoid figures surrounded by divisive imagery. A PR strategist told Business Insider, "Advertisers want clean stories." This is the opposite. Reports suggested that streaming executives were already nervous, as the controversy risked overshadowing upcoming Sussex-led projects. In Hollywood, perception is power. And Meghan's perception was in freefall, but the fallout wasn't just about Meghan and Harry. It tapped into something bigger: the way celebrity culture feeds on contradiction. Audiences crave figures who embody compassion, yet they're drawn even more strongly to moments when those figures stumble. The tunnel video scandal became shorthand for that contradiction. Commentators compared it to past Hollywood missteps, from tone-deaf Instagram posts during global crises to ill-timed interviews. The message was clear: in today's world, a single clip can undo years of image building. For Harry, the consequences were personal. Fans speculated about the strain on his marriage, with hashtags like #HarryDeservesBetter trending worldwide. Commentators warned that each scandal tied to Meghan doesn't just damage her, it chips away at Harry's standing too. And that left a haunting question hanging in the air. If Meghan's video could spark this level of global backlash, How long could the Sussex brand survive repeated blows? In the end, the scandal wasn't just about a car video. It was about love and loyalty, public image and private pain, symbolism and silence. Meghan's pan to the tunnel and her feet-up gesture became a cultural flashpoint, one that blurred the line between accident and intent. And once the internet decided what it saw, the Sussexes lost control of the story. Because in today's media landscape, one image doesn't just tell a story, it writes history. And that leaves us with a question. If Meghan's clip could shake the Sussex brand this much, what happens the next time she missteps in public? If you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed. Like this video if you found the breakdown eye-opening, and hit the bell so you'll be here when the next chapter inevitably drops.